Okay, so today we are moving straight into Xlookup. So we are done with VLOOKUP. Now we are moving to Xlookup, and we said Xlookup is horizontal lookup. So VLOOKUP is vertical lookup. Xlookup is horizontal lookup. So Xlookup is not so commonly used because almost every data is always presented in an horizontal format. Sorry, in a vertical format. So most times it's just VLOOKUP that is commonly used. It's only on very rare situations where people make use of Xlookup. So mostly people use VLOOKUP, but still, it's also important that you know how to make use of Xlookup should you encounter a situation where you're working with an horizontal table. So we'll be doing Xlookup today, and this is the data we'll be using. So in this data is in a vertical form. So first of all, we are going to convert this to an horizontal table. So how do we do that? We copy everything here. So let's copy this. Then we come here. So let's paste it here. Now, pasting it here, we use one of these paste options. You can see we have different paste options here. So we use this very one called transpose. This one is transpose. So if you use this transpose, it will paste it in an horizontal format. So you see every other paste options here gives you different other things. But this very one, is this transpose, we paste it in an horizontal format. So let's do that. Now we've pasted it. You see that table now is now in an horizontal format. So let's adjust our columns and our, okay. So now we have this here, pasted as transpose. So we are ready. So, okay, now what do we want to look for here? Let's say we want to look for let's look for one name here and single out. Okay, let's single out Godwin. So Godwin. Okay. So we have Godwin here. And what we want to do now is to look for the examination score of Godwin. So using Xlookup now. So we say equals to Xlookup, bring up Xlookup. Now, what's our lookup value? Our lookup value would be Godwin, comma, our table array. Of course, we always know we pick the whole table, or at least pick to the point where what we are looking for is. So let's just pick the whole table here. Let's pick everything here. So this is our table array, comma. So the next thing is you see, in VLOOKUP, what it would have asked next is column index number. But in Xlookup, it's asking for row index number. So showing you that here it's not working with columns, it's working with the rows because you are using an horizontal table. So now what's our column index number? Remember what we are looking for is the examination score of Godwin. So we start counting the column, the rows now. So our row index number, this is row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, row number 4, row number 5, row number 6, and row number 7. So what we are looking for is the examination score, and that's in row 7. So that means our row index number would be 7. Then we have our comma there. So the next thing is the range lookup. Do we want an approximate match or an exact match? So in this case, we need an exact match, which is false. So we cover, we close, and we press enter. So we are having NA here. Why? Why are we having NA? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our column index number is correct. So why are we still having NA? Can somebody explain to us? Okay, I'm having some. Ah, I thought somebody is about us and saying I do not know. Please, why would you not know? Ah, you're supposed to know maybe where the name Godwin appears. No, that cannot be now. Okay, so I think we are having NA because in this table we have two different Godwin. So nobody noticed that. Let's start afresh, please. Sorry, you can't come late and ask us to start afresh. You're late. So in this table, we have Godwin here, and we have another Godwin here. So I guess that's why we are having NA. So Excel is confused as at which Godwin is supposed to return for us, which of the score. So let's try changing the lookup value. Let's try using another name. So let's come here. Let's change this to, let's take this out. So let's change this name. Let's have, which name do we have? Just one here. Let's take Patrick, for example. Patrick. So I think we have just one Patrick here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So now let's do the same thing. Equals to Xlookup. Xlookup. Now lookup value, we are using Patrick. Table array, using the whole of this table. Then our row index, we said is 7, is the examination score we are looking for. And then the range lookup, we say we need an exact match. So let's close and then press enter. We still have NA here. We still have 2 Patrick here. How many Patrick do we have here? 1. Is there Patrick any other place here? Yeah. Okay. We have just one Patrick here. I'm not seeing any other Patrick. Or could I be wrong? Is there another Patrick somewhere? No other Patrick. So what is wrong? Okay, let's change our range. Let's see. Let's see. Let's pick our range from here. Let's see. I seriously doubt. So that's not it. So somebody should tell us, why are we having this issue? Most of you have seen this video now. Okay, in this case now, here will be 6. I just saw somebody. How did you get that row 7? Okay, column P is 1. Please, it should be row index, okay? Can you unmute me? Okay, Badmus, let me unmute you. Badmus, unmute. Badmus, I've unmuted you. So start talking.
Yes, sir. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I think the lookup value was not picked from the list. From the list we highlighted, you only write the Patrick outside from a separate cell.
Okay,
I
that's
think
not,
maybe the Excel does not recognize.
no, that's not it, that's not it. So Loretta, let's hear you. Loretta,
Yes, sir. Sir,
okay,
can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. What's your own?
Okay. In my own opinion, I think Excel might not recognize it because under middle name, if you check under middle name, it has Wednesday instead of Patrick's middle name. So I think Excel might not recognize that.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other person with any other opinion? John, you can unmute.
Okay, boss. Good evening,
Yeah, good evening.
colleagues. Yeah. Yes, I think just like I sent chat box, the it was wrong row index number because the first row is supposed to be the header file, the header rows. So Excel, from my opinion, would start counting from row number 2, making what we are looking for to fall under row number 6. That's my opinion.
Okay. So in the absence of any other hand raised, John is actually very correct. So that's just the issue we had there, is the fact that we're picking from here down to here, and Excel will count from year to year. So instead of where we had 7, the row index should have been 6, and that would have given us the correct thing. Okay, so that is that. So now let's do it again. Having found out what that issue is, so let's do it again now. So we say equals to Xlookup. So please, for those that said we should not be using no, it is actually correct. Our lookup value is Patrick from here. So we say table array. Let's pick from here. Let's leave the first one out. Then we put a comma. So now our row index, we now say it's going to be 6, not 7. Okay. And then the range lookup would be an exact match. So we pick false, and then we close. So at this point, if we press enter, it's actually going to give us the examination result of Patrick, which is 27, as you can see it here, which is very correct. So that was just that. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time here, so I would not want us to, this is not something that is very common. People don't use it so common, so let's not waste too much time. Let me try to do another example of Xlookup so that we can see. So the next example I'll be doing, let's use this sheet. Let's use this. Okay, so now we all remember this very sheet where we had this cookies ordered, and then we were asked to return the free cookies. So we have this sheet here now. Now the table we are working with to get our free cookies is now like this. This is an horizontal table, and we need to still fill this up here. So here you cannot be using VLOOKUP because where you're returning your listing from is in an horizontal format. So now filling this up, so let's say equals to Xlookup. So we have our Xlookup there. So here we cannot use VLOOKUP. So now what will be our lookup value? It will still be cookies or that. cookies ordered, we put our comma. So the next thing, what will be our array, our table array. So now our table array, we still come here and we pick it from here. And we say comma. And then the next thing is asking for a 0 index. So in this case, what will be our row index? I want somebody to talk. What will be our row index here? Please, I need a hand. Somebody should tell me what our row index would be here. Our row index number. What will be our row index number? Okay. I thought I saw a hand now. What happened? John, I thought I spotted your hand up. Okay, so that we don't waste time since nobody is. Okay, John. So John, you can unmute.
Okay. I've been struggling to mute myself, really.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I say, what will be
Am I
our row?
audible?
Our row index will be what?
Our row index will be 1.
1,
Sorry, will be 2.
2.
2. We are looking for 3 cookies, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So if our row
Yeah, it will
index
be 2.
if our row index will be 2, what will be the range lookup? Will it be true or false?
It will be true.
It will be true, right? Because we are not looking for an exact match, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now we close. I'll press enter. Okay. So now we press enter and we can see we are having errors here. So why are we having errors? So you see the first one worked. This person is 26. 3 cookies for 0 to is under 0. But this person is up to 101. So why is he showing us zeros? And these ones, why are they all showing us any? So this is why I want people to talk. So please, I want as many hands as possible here. Okay, I will entertain only 3 hands. People should tell me why we are having these errors. Please, so that we can move on to another thing. Let's be very fast about this. So why are we having zeros and any errors here? What's happening now? I used to have some very interactive students in this class. Okay, Mojisola. So Mojisola, you can unmute.
Hello, sir.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
I think the reason why it's giving us errors is because the second table, the orientation of the table has changed.
The what?
The orientation of the cookies orders and cookies has changed.
Please, in a layman's understanding, can you explain what you mean by orientation of the table has changed?
The first one we did, the table was in a
Vertical format.
manner. Yes, but now it's in a horizontal format. So I think that's why it's giving us error.
Okay, so let me hear from 2 other persons before we move forward. Okay, who's next? Mojisola has given us our own reason why she feels we are having the error. Please, let's be fast so that we can. I want this class wrapped up by 9:30. Okay, the accountant, you can unmute.
Yes, yeah, now I noticed VLOOKUP will have worked well here because it is in a vertical format and not in horizontal format.
Okay. So that's your seconding what she just said. That is because the table is now in an horizontal format. That's why.
Yes.
Okay. So the last person, any other contrary opinion? At this point, I need contrary opinion. Any other person with a contrary opinion? Nobody. So nobody. Okay. The absence of a contrary opinion. So the reason why we are having this year, 0 year, 0 year, and then NA year is not because it is an horizontal table. Rather, it is because now when we did cell referencing, the different types of cell referencing in Excel, remember we talked about we talked about mixed cell reference, we talked about absolute cell reference, and we talked about relative cell reference. And we said relative cell reference is the default pattern of Excel referencing a cell. Now, what does that mean? Excel looks at every cell either downward or to this way. So in this case, the table we are using is this way. So Excel is looking at this table downward. Now, here, it will work for the first person. At this point, okay, let's click on it so that we'll see what we have there on the formula. If I click on this, you see on this formula, the range, the table array here is A12 to F13. This is A12 and this is F13. So all of this table is captured here. That is why it's giving you the correct answer here. Now, if you move to the second one, let's look at our table array again. You see the table array now is A13 to F14. Now, if we are looking, that means this is from year to year. So you can see that at this point, it has removed this part and is now picking from year to year. So what is happening here is that there's a movement because Excel is seeing this table in a relative format. So there's a movement down. Now, let's move to the next one. If we move to this next one and click, have you seen where the table array now is? It's now moving year and year. So that same movement is what it's doing. It's going down and down. Now let's look at the next one again. If you look at the next one, you see this table is still moving. If you come out of there, you look at the next one, the table has gone. So it will continue moving in that relative way until it gets down. So to solve this issue, you have to now make this table absolute. That is the only way you can solve this issue. And I taught you how to make a table absolute. So I come back here where I have this table array in the first one. All I do is I lock this. Remember, we say you lock with F4. Come here, lock this. Another way I could just have done that would have been to just, okay, let me remove them. Another way I could just have done that simply would have been to just copy this. If I copy this from this point to this point and just hit my F4, so it locks everything. Now, at this point, this table is now absolute. So no matter the movement down, it will still keep looking at this table. That movement that is going down will no longer be obtainable. So now if I press enter, have you seen? Has it worked? So we see that now it has worked because every other, now if I come here and I click, it's the same table that it's using. If I come here and I click, it's the same table that it's using. So there's no longer that relative movement down. Rather, I've made this table absolute. So everything here is looking at just this table. Now, when we did the vertical lookup, you saw that it was working. It was because we had the table this way, or we had it on the other sheet, but we still had it up. So that movement, as it kept going down, it kept seeing the same distance. So the movement was there, but it kept seeing a value as it kept going down. There was a value. But in this case, as it's going down, these ones are empty. These ones are empty. So it begins to give you NA. You see that for the second one, at least it saw a value here. So it gave you 0 because this was a value it saw. It did not see this one. So that is that with that part. Hope we all follow to that point. So making this table absolute would solve that issue. And rather, it will now work seeing everything here. So that is that for Xlookup. Now let's move to Xlookup. I don't know why, for any reason, some people will be logging out of this class at this very time when I feel we are doing something very important now. Okay, maybe it's their network or maybe their phone is off. Okay, so now we are moving to Xlookup. Xlookup now is a whole different ball game. Now we've done VLOOKUP, we've done Xlookup, but now when you're talking of Xlookup, this is a whole different ball game. Xlookup can do both what VLOOKUP and Xlookup can do for you, and even more. Now, I did a little note on this. Let's look at it. So let's look at this. What is Xlookup? We say Xlookup is a powerful function in Excel used for vertical or horizontal lookup. So you see now, if you're using Xlookup, you really do not have the problem of if you're looking at a particular thing from a vertical or from an horizontal table. That Xlookup does not give any this thing to that. Whether it's vertical, whether it's horizontal, it doesn't care. So we say it can search for a value in a column or a row and return a corresponding value from the same position in another column or row. So here's the basic syntax for Xlookup. So the moment you type Xlookup, what you have come up is the first thing here is the lookup value. So you give it, what's the lookup value now? We say the lookup value is the value to search for. So what are you searching for? That will be your lookup value. Then the next thing it will ask for is the lookup array. So what's the lookup array? The lookup array now is the range or the array to search within. So we are not new to this. We've talked about lookup array quite a number of times, so we know what that means. Then after this, in Xlookup, the next thing it will ask you for, now you see in VLOOKUP, it will ask you the next thing will be your column index number, while in Xlookup, the next thing will be your row index number. But in Xlookup, the next thing it will ask you for is your return array. Now you've given it a lookup array. The next thing it will be asking for is your return array. Okay, fine. You've told me where to look from. But after looking for this here, what do you now want me to return for you? So you now have a return array. So what's the return array? Is the range or the array from which to return a corresponding value. That's what the return array is. Then after the return array, it still has another argument. The next argument is if not found. So now you saw when we did VLOOKUP and we had to add if error or if NA to it to give it what it should return for us in a situation where the lookup value we are looking for is not found. And we had to give it, you saw we wrote there not found, or we wrote not on the list. For those that were in that class, we saw it. But now if you're using Xlookup, you don't even need this. It has that option already embedded in it. So if not found, you can fill that in. This very one is optional. You can fill it in and just put what you want it to return for you in a situation where it cannot find what you're looking for. It will just return that for you. So that's what we wrote in that this thing, that we had to use if error to write not on the list or write not found. You can just put it here, still under this Xlookup. Then after that, it still has another argument. The next argument is the match mode. Now, the match mode now is also an optional argument, and it defines the type of match. So the other one, we have approximate match and exact match. But in this one now, we have just more than that. in Xlookup. So we are not just looking for approximate and exact. These are the different match mode we have. The first one is exact match. That's the default one. Then the next one is exact or next smaller item. So this one is for sorted item, sorted data. Then the next one, which is -1, remember exact is 0. Then 1 is exact or next smaller item. Then for -1, we have exact or next larger items, and that's also for sorted data. Then the next one, which is 2, is for wildcard character, which we use this asterisk to identify. You either use asterisk or you use the question mark to identify the wildcard character. So this allows partial matching. So that's the next type of matching. So all of these we have under the match mode. So you see here we have 4 different match modes: exact match, exact or next smaller, exact or next larger, and then we have the wildcard character. So these are different match modes. So it's not just like the other one. Then after that, you still have another argument. Now the last argument is the search mode. So under the search mode, you now have, is also optional. All these ones that are optional, these 3 that are optional, you can choose to ignore them and it will still return what you're looking for you. So that's why we say they are optional. So under the search mode, you have the first one. Should we search from the beginning to the end? Then the next one is, should we search from the end to the beginning? And then the next one is, should we use a binary search? That's this one, it requires data to be sorted. So all of these are the different arguments you have when using Xlookup. So this is an Xlookup, except you're using from Excel 2021 upward, you cannot have this very option on your Excel. So for those that our version of Excel is still backward, you cannot have Xlookup on it. Okay, so we say Xlookup is versatile and has replaced HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP in many cases due to its flexibilities. So for those who are so used to using this, they actually do not even have reasons or any need for VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP because, or HLOOKUP, because XLOOKUP will just do everything you want for you and even more. So that's why we say it has replaced the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP because of its flexibility, its ability to handle errors, and options for advanced searches. So it's great for both vertical and horizontal lookups and offers more control over matching criteria and error handling compared to its predecessors. Okay, so that being said, we are moving now back to practical. So I believe we all have understood or assimilated everything here. So now let's move over and do some practical. So this is what we want to use. We have this table here, and in this table, we have different types of chocolate here. All of these chocolate have their cost per cookie, and we have the revenue per cookie. So these are the chocolates, and these are the revenue per cookie, and these are the cost per cookie. Now, we want to find revenue per cookie for each of these. So using this table, we want to fill this. I want to use Xlookup. So you say equals to Xlookup equals to Xlookup. So now what's our lookup value in this case? Now I want people to talk. Please, someone should unmute and tell us where we'll be picking our lookup value from all my explanation that I've done. So what will be our lookup value here? Hello, somebody should raise a hand and talk to us. What will be our lookup value? Please, can we be fast so that, okay, Mojisola, you can unmute.
Hello.
Yeah, can hear you.
So our lookup value should be chocolate chips.
Okay, chocolate chip from where? We have chocolate chip on column K. We have chocolate chip on column B. So chocolate chip from where?
Column B.
From column B. Okay, we try that. So John, you can unmute. Let me hear from you. Ah, John, your network is bad. Hello, John.
Can you hear me?
Your network is breaking, John.
Can I be heard now?
Yeah, I think it's better now.
Am I heard now?
Yes, you can go on now.
Yeah, I think network is quite bad though.
Hello, John, you can speak up. I can hear you now.
Okay. It's I2. Our lookup value is I2.
Okay, that's $1. Because what we have on
I2, that's
okay, that's $5, right?
yes.
The lookup value will be the revenue per cookie.
Revenue per cookie.
Okay, so we'll be using I2. Okay, thank you. Okay, accountant, you can unmute. Accountant, you can unmute.
All right, coach.
Okay.
So since we will be returning revenue per cookie, so we are looking up to $5, and the I
Remember, we
to
are looking for our lookup value. Lookup value is what we are looking
yes,
for. So what will
lookup
be the
value will be $5.
$5? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Austin, you can unmute.
Okay, sorry, that I'm joining you back a little. VLOOKUP, SLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, are they same thing? Like, are we using it to, like, if they ask us to source for social thing? Hello, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you, but your question is somehow it's not very clear. So
I said, okay, if you're giving a task now, can you use a VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP and get the same answer?
yeah, depending on the task you're given, you would now know which tool will give you the best answer. But what I just said is, if the table is a vertical table, you can use VLOOKUP. But now, HLOOKUP will do whatever VLOOKUP can do for you and more. And even whatever HLOOKUP will do for you and more. So XLOOKUP is an upgrade on VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move forward. So for those that said our lookup value would be $5, that's not true. Our lookup value would be chocolate chip from B. So Mojisola was right. That's our lookup value. Then our lookup array. Remember, we are looking for what is it called? We are looking for revenue per cookie. So where are we looking at that from? We'll be looking at that from here. So this will become our lookup array, cookie type. And then return array. What do we want it to return? We now want it to return revenue per cookie. So this will now become our return array. And then what's the next thing? If not found. This was our error. This thing, in this case, we don't need it. So let's just press enter. You see? So it has returned everything here for us. So for chocolate chip, the revenue per cookie is $5. For oatmeal resin, you see oatmeal resin here is $5. For 14 cookie, you see 14 cookie here is $1. So it has returned it just that way for us. As you can see, if we move down, that's the same thing. It has returned exactly what we need for us. So that is that for that. So we'll do the same thing for cost per cookie. So equals to Xlookup. So our lookup value, what will it be? To still be this. So we have our comma there. What's our lookup array? Our lookup array, we still use this. We have our comma there. So what will be our return array? Now we are looking for cost per cookie. So we have our comma there. The next thing is asking for if not found. We still ignore this. We don't need all these other arguments. Remember, I told you those other arguments, they are all optional. So at this point, we press enter. So you see, we have the price, the cost of each of these here. So for the chocolate chip, it costs the cost per cookie is $2. You see, we have it here. For oatmeal resin is $2.20. You see, we have that here. Then for fortune cookie is 0.50 cents. You see, we have that here, and so on and so forth. So everything here has been filled. So as you can see, everything here, we have it. So you see, this is what Xlookup can do for us. Now, I also want us to look at a scenario where you can use Xlookup to return multiple values at a time. So let's use this table. Let's use this table. So now, what do we want to do? This is the same table we have here, just that this is a table, and this is not a table. So that's just the difference. Now we want to return these two together at the same time. We don't want to do for this and then come and do for this. So how do you do that? You can do that using Xlookup. So equals to Xlookup. Our lookup value will still be this, comma. Our lookup array, we say we'll be using this. Lookup array, we'll be using this. Then now what is the return array? In this case now, we want it to return both of this column for us. So that's our return array. And then we close. Now let's press enter and see. So you see, it has returned this and this for us. So the revenue per cookie for chocolate chip is $5, while the cost per cookie for chocolate chip is $2. So let's change this to currency. Okay, so $2, $5. So now let's do a drag down to get for others. So what are we noticing here? We've noticed that I don't want us to waste time again. I would have said someone should tell us why we're having this. So we've noticed that it can only do for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So why is this happening? So it's the same issue we had the last time. Excel is seeing this in a relative format now. So at this point, if you click here and look at the formula, you see that this is the lookup array is now J5 to J11. And where is J5 to J11? J5 to J11 is, this is J5 and this is J11. So you see, it has shifted to this point. It's now showing you blank these things here. So how do we solve this? We go back to the first one where we did this thing for, and we log. So you log this. You log this with your, and then you also log this. You also log this with your F4. So now you have both log. You press enter. So now let's try it again. Let's try to drag down again and see. So have you seen? Now, because we've locked this, so it has now seen everything here. So let's drag it to the last person. Okay, so that is that. So now you saw we just did for one, but we were able to fill both. And then when we saw that our table was looking downward, all we did was making everything here absolute. So now if you come here, you see that everything here is absolute and everything here is absolute. So that's why we can keep going down and it's still looking at what is here. So that is that for our class today. So at this moment now, I'll be giving room for questions. I know we have a lot of it on our mind. So everybody can now start asking your questions. Okay, let's start from Mojisola, whose hand is up. So Mojisola, you can unmute.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I didn't really follow the first VLOOKUP that you did because my network was really bad. So I want to ask when will the video be dropped so I can follow up with the class, or is there a way to do a recap on the
Okay,
first one?
the video will be dropped on Monday. So the video will be dropped on Monday. So since I've done everything in the video, needless of me going back. Abi, you can watch the video and understand, right?
Okay.
Okay, so John, you can unmute.
All right, thank you once again, boss. I mean, this is quite an interesting class. Now, this Xlookup, I know it's only it's a function that is only found in Excel 21 and above.
Yes.
What can we do? Those of us that have older versions,
So you
would there be
can
any other way to approach it?
get the newer versions. That's all you can do. So you can get either 2021 version or Office 365. You have it there.
Office 365, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So any other question? Any other question? Okay. So in the absence of any other question, so some persons reached out to me and they were like, we are in this festive period that we should round up the class so that people can, that at this point, people are busy. Some people are already winding down for the year and a whole lot of activities are going on. So we should wind up and continue next year. So I said I'll bring that to the class because even for some of our activities, even in our physical locations, we're already winding down, waiting for the new year. So is that something everybody or most people here share? Should we do that? Or do you want us to continue all through the Xmas period, which are not very open to? But let's just get other people's opinion. Okay, before that, I think I have a hand raised here from accountant. So let's hear his own question. I believe he has a question. Accountant, you can unmute. Accountant, you can unmute now.
All right. Thank you, coach.
Yes, I can hear
Hello.
you. Yes, I can hear you.
All right. All right. So as equal to the adverts for the data science.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask some questions on it. So though most of us have been saying, oh, maybe we can be granted discounts, maybe because we've done some part of it in data analytics or something like that. That's number one. And number two, when is the payment getting due? Because I feel that if we can't be able to finish this, we won't be able to, whether in this class, we won't be able to get into that. So it won't be too bulked up for us. Yes.
Okay. So
Mm.
now our data science course is one of our most prized course. Let me just be truthful with you. It's one of our most prized course. When I say most prized, we have a very high price for it because it's not even a class we encourage many people to do. We feel like most people at the point of data analytics is okay. But if you feel you want to go to that level of becoming a full professional as far as data is concerned, then, so honestly, let me just say that was why nobody responded to that listing. When this period, we are actually doing a Christmas giveaway. If you're around any of our physical locations, we just have one now in Ikeja. If you're around any of our physical locations, you'll find out that we are giving a whole lot of courses at discounted price just for this Xmas period. Then, here in Ikorodu, what we even did was our ICT program was opened up for free. We have people coming to the physical location to join our ICT program for free without having to pay a dime. Just a way of giving back to the community, saying, thank you for a good year. And so that was how we saw it. That was why we even gave that course out for 35,000 naira. Honestly, that was a Christmas giveaway. By next year, I doubt you would see that course even for 50,000 naira, even though it's online. This is me being very truthful with you. So that's just it. Physically, that course, we charge more than 200,000 naira for it. If you're in a physical location, we charge above 200,000 naira for that course. So keeping it at that 35,000 was a big giveaway just for the Xmas this thing. So, but we saw that most people were still asking for us to reduce the price, and they've been with us for a while. But we just could not do that. That was just the truth because the price already was a huge giveaway. In short, when we came up with that decision, we were just laughing. And if you followed us for a while, you know that we always make sure we deliver whatever we say we want to do. We make sure we deliver. So it's not like it's something you're. So now, what is there is this. Even if you're still on this data analytics program and you've not completed this, I'll just ask you, if you have the money, pay and register for it. You would, even if you don't join the batch that will start that first, I think the first batch will be starting maybe by second week of January. If you don't join that batch, but believe me, paying now and getting registered for it will be a very good decision for you because whichever batch you choose to join later, that payment will still be valid as far as you have your payment receipt. You can always join the batch after your. Of course, when we are rounding up this batch, we'll still make announcement for that data science course for those that are interested to go forward. And at that point now, whatever price it is then is what you pay, and nobody will bring it down. But if you take advantage of this Christmas price slash, believe me, it's a huge one for you. So that's just it. I didn't want to talk about it because honestly, I just wanted it to. Alex said he would come maybe to my class, and I just told him to leave it. Those that will pay. Those that will not pay should just. So, but just like he said, I think the major concern most people have is that they are not even done with this. So that one is not even a problem. If you can pay. Your payment receipt is there. You can always join the batch after you're done with this. The truth is you can't do the two together because you need to finish this, do Power BI, do SQL before you start data science. It's after SQL that you start data science. So you start with Python Essentials before you move to main other these things, the Mongo DPs, the other things. So please, if you have the money now, it's a huge giveaway. Pay your money now, keep your payment receipt. Believe me, this class that we are currently on will not go beyond January or at most maybe first or second week of February after that. So if you're interested, it's a push you want to. I tell you, take that advantage now because next year you won't get it at that price. That's just the truth. Okay, thank you very much. I believe I've answered
All
your
right.
question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, David. So David, you can Can unmute.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay.
So my question lies on that Xlookup.
Okay.
The first example that you gave,
The one
I discovered that
I use transpose.
yes, I just wanted to say, why was it difficult for Excel to recognize that first row? Because
John answered that now. That was what John said now. That I said he has answered the question. You didn't hear John's answer. John gave us the answer now. You know, I threw it open. I threw it open to the class, and John answered it. I said yes, he was right. So we now had to. Okay, don't worry. John hand is up. When is his turn? He will answer it again for you to hear.
okay.
Okay, so Joseph, you can unmute.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
Compliment
evening.
of the season.
Same to you.
Thank you. Yeah. I need some clarification on this data science payment.
Okay.
Like now, can we make part payment now and then complete it later? Is it acceptable? Or we must complete it now?
We are having issue with that part payment of the thing, because even in this class there are people that did part payment here, and we've gotten to this point. They've still not. If you can imagine, that one part for this class, part payment was even 5,000 for you to complete 5,000. Until now, some persons have not done it, so we don't want to keep that option open again. So we just want it to be a one-time payment. But if I don't even think we'll change any instance on that. So it's a full-time payment. It's 35,000 now, one-time payment. So part payments are not accepted for now. Maybe maybe by next year, when we'll revert to the normal price, maybe then we can accept part payment. But for this slash that we are doing, part payment is not accepted.
Okay, so when is the time limit to close the payment?
It's Xmas. Within this Xmas period, it's actually an Xmas promo. So from the first day of December right to the last day of December, the period is open for payment.
Okay.
So as far as it's within the Xmas, it's valid. But after that,
sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cut you. I think the best option you would have put on this is that since it's for Xmas bonus, if you know you cannot pay from now till the last day of the Xmas, don't pay. But if you know you can pay from now to the end of, if you can pay installmentally, but by the end of Xmas you complete it for the last day of the December, you can pay. You understand?
Okay.
Knowing fully well that we're in festive period and a lot of
sorry about that. We didn't think it to that level. Sorry. But now if you're sure you can pay from now to the last day of December and you have paid up, then you can be saving the money somewhere now and make sure you don't touch it. Then when it's complete, you pay it at once. I think that's the same thing.
Sir, you can't save money for this period though.
Okay.
It's better to pay up because you have a lot of things to spend money on.
This is what you do. For those that have part payment, but you believe before 31st, before or on 31st latest, you can complete the payment. Make your payment what you have now and send the receipt to me on my private number. Send the receipt to me. Make your payment to Digital World Platform account, then send the payment to me, your receipt to me. Then once I see the full receipt, I would know that your payment is complete. So I think I've solved that issue, right?
Yes, you did. The last one, sorry. You did. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The last one is on the Xlookup.
Okay.
Like me now, the two systems I'm using, there's no Xlookup on it. The other one, there's no Lookup. So, I don't know.
That's why I said if you don't have from 2021 version, you will not have Xlookup. Xlookup is new. So it's only, in short, when it came out originally, it was only for Office 365 subscribers. But now they decided to allow it now, even 2021 can. But that's the list. Anything below 2021, you will not have Xlookup on it. So that's why I told you people immediately I started.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so
Thank you.
just look for a way and get at least 2021. Then you should have it.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you.
So, John, you can unmute.
Okay, I mean, this could be my. I was just smiling when my senior colleague was talking about saving and paying. Anyway, thank you. I'll be honest with you, it's quite difficult to really save money this period because there are a lot of things hanging to collect the money. So if anybody can carve out small things that pay out, then please, this option will gladly welcome it. I mean, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. For those
Okay,
of us who are interested,
no
I know
problem.
that God will help us and will not fail.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You will help us.
yes. That was actually the question
Okay,
I
so
wanted to
John,
answer.
sorry for cutting you. So someone asked, he didn't get your answer when I asked why we're having that error when we did HLOOKUP and we were using row index. So can you repeat your answer so that the person can hear?
Okay, thank you. I guess that was Peter.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was saying that if you look at that data set, there is what is called the header file, or in this case, is header row. So Excel will not pick from that header. It will pick from the second one to the last one. When we were using 7 as the row index number, it was not recognizing it because we were selecting the whole data set and then giving a wrong row index. So, but when we changed it and then give the right index, row index, which is 6, it started picking and then it picked the correct one. That first row was the header row, or what you call header file. I don't know if that's clear.
Okay, so the person that asked, hope you've gotten it now. Okay, John, thank you. So do you have any other
Welcome.
question, John?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Badmos, you can unmute now. Badmos, you can unmute. Hello, Badmos. Badmos. Okay, so I think Badmos is not ready for us. So please, I said something about us ending this class here and continuing by next year. Okay, Reward. Reward has a question. Reward, unmute.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, so see, these two formula, can you make a little revision in these two, the H and X? Because my own version of Excel is 2019. I don't think I can practice, but for now, please, can you make a little revision for that? Because I'm not getting it quite all right when you are doing it. So the two formulas, the H and the X formula. So I wasn't getting it really clear enough. If you can make a little revision, I'll be fine. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I will drop the video and then perhaps maybe in our next class, we'll still start from here so that perhaps if there was anywhere you were lost, you can find yourself. But I'll drop the video latest on Monday so that you can go through it. Now, I asked the question, let's deliberate over this. Please, should we end our class for this year and continue by next year? What do we have to say about this? This is the next thing I want us to answer. I'm seeing Bukola's hand. Badmos, I'm asking you to unmute, but you're not unmuting. Badmos, can you unmute now? Still the same thing. Okay. Accountant, you can unmute.
All right. For the closing of class, so I need to suggest, can we have our last class on Friday. Then we close for the year. You can also give us an assignment for that Friday to keep us busy at any leisure time.
On Friday.
Before, yes, yes. So
That,
instead of being Saturday and Sunday, it could just be Friday evening. Then we can just round off our class. Then with assignment. So maybe once we're away, we can just sit down on it, or anytime we're less busy, or on our own.
okay, I've heard you. Let me get other opinions. So reward. Reward, I'm still seeing your hand up.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Ah, what happened? Reward. Reward, please unmute again. Unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So I wanted to say the same thing, that I also favor the fact that the class should end here. But if the class is ending here, we should have at least one or two assignments to keep us busy throughout this period, so that during when we return, we'll not where at least we can get our hands on something doing until we return back, we resume back in January. I think that's just my own suggestion.
Okay, thank you. Let me hear from others. So Bukola, you can unmute.
All right, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, this is my own take on that. I know we have different pace. I felt we can still continue. I felt so because I felt it's just so early, seeing that we missed out at some point, although it is a situation we could not control. So I just felt we can still do something, say tomorrow. I mean, at least not today, because we still have Sunday, since we used to meet Saturdays and Sunday, so that we don't,
Okay, you are saying we should hold class at least tomorrow. Hi, Bukola. Hello, Bukola. Bukola. Ah, hello. Ah, we've lost Bukola. So,
Yes, I'm here.
okay, back on.
Back on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry for not responding earlier. I had issue with my laptop. That was all. Sorry. My questions is number one question is on the H lookup. The first example, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The first example you used for us, when you are trying to get the text value, examination value for, you typed Patrick outside the whole list. Then when you want to use lookup value, you click on that name you typed outside the list. So does it mean if we are doing any H lookup or V lookup, we can as well type your lookup value outside the box, then make it refer to it aside from the whole list that you are going to use as your table array?
Yes, as far as I don't want, most times why you pick inside is because you want to make cell reference so that when you drag down, it can work for others. That is why most times our lookup values, we pick it from a list inside. But in a case where that is not what you want to achieve, you can just type it outside and do what you're doing. But assuming it was a list and I want to do the same for others, so I would rather pick from that table so that when I do for the first person, I can now use a drop down and replicate the same for others. So majorly that's why most times we are having to pick our values from inside. Not that if you type it outside, it won't work.
Okay. The second question, sir, is concerning the data science class.
Yeah.
I wanted to register, but
Yeah.
I need some kind of clarification, sir.
So,
Aside from this data analytics courses that we are going to do, as according to what we had earlier, was we will do SQL, Python essential from the data analytics. So I wanted to know which other courses is aside from this one that we are going to do in data science.
okay. So you have a whole lot. When you get there, you would know. First of all, Python is actually very wide. Python for data science is very wide. So then now you'll be doing, I don't know if we do Python essentials in data analytics or if it will be in data science. I know you were promised essentials in data analytics. Usually we do essentials in data science because if you do not even have business with Python, you should not come to data science. So now you do Python essentials, you do MongoDB, you do pandas, you do that. So there are a whole lot. In short, I don't know. Maybe we even do R. So the thing is, I'm not even the one taking the data science. So that's why I don't want to start. Let me not list maybe much more than what we would do or list things that we bought. Our full data science course, I know there's a whole lot in it. You have, I know of pandas, I know of MongoDBs, I know of Python itself, where you'll be using the Anaconda. So there are a whole lot. I think there's even much
Okay,
more
sir.
than what I'm saying.
Okay, sir. But sorry, sir. Sorry that I'm to be rigid on this.
Okay.
Can you please maybe before the next class or maybe before next year or do I don't know before according to you you said the next batch for the data science will be around there maybe first week or second week in January. So it means we can still have the list of what data science courses is encompasses so that we will know at least
Is
because like this data
this
analytics
thing
now,
that
what
was
we
dropped, the flyer that was dropped, they were all listed there now on the flyer. Did you see the flyer?
no, I didn't see it, sir.
Okay, that's why I will ask them to drop the flyer again this evening. So you see everything you'll be doing there. So whatever you see on that flyer is what you're entitled to.
But between I just want us to be on the same page, me and you now, because according to
Okay.
data analytics, Python was also on the list.
Yes,
But
if
like now, I can see
Python was there, but it's Python essentials, not
it's Python essential, yes.
yes. So that's why I'm telling you, we'll still do it. So when we get to that stage, we will do it. So that one is not even an issue. The
Okay.
only good thing with people doing data science is they will still start with Python essentials and they will go deeper. So that's just it.
Okay, okay, sir. Then another question, which is on the if we are going to close for the year,
Okay.
my own suggestion is I think today is 16. So if we still have complete tomorrow's class, like one of the participants said, if we can still have tomorrow's class, then we can just call it a, then by next year we can pick it up from there.
Okay. Thank you very much. So you've taken so much of my time. David, you can unmute.
Yeah. So I just wanted to suggest regarding closing for the year.
Okay.
Since we missed a lot of a lot during the past 2-3 weeks that we're unable to meet. So I was just thinking that we should have a class till next weekend, and then if we can go on a short break for just a week, and then we resume back by next year. So
Okay.
that's my own suggestion. so that we can cover up and we don't miss out on anything.
Thank you very much. More questions are still coming. People don't want us to go. Joseph on mute.
No, sir, I want us to go. What I want to do, sorry, sir, what I want to talk about is the break. I think tomorrow is fine. After tomorrow, but this is a first period.
Yeah.
And I know any ground that we have lost, you make sure we cover it before the lifespan of the program elapses. So we should have time also to have fun, right?
Yes.
Than to keep on, yeah. We don't have anything to miss out here. The period we have missed out before, I believe you will create time for us to cover it before we wind down on this one. So we should, but that tomorrow is okay. Let's have it and then call it a day. Thank you, sir.